Hello and welcome to the Mindful Zone. Today we embark on a journey not outward but inward. A journey into your thoughts, your emotions, and the essence of who you truly are. Over the next 2 hours, we'll explore timeless wisdom from Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness practices that have helped countless individuals find peace, purpose, and clarity in their lives. Whether you're new to these concepts or someone looking to deepen your understanding, this video is crafted with care to guide you every step of the way. Life can feel overwhelming at times, can't it? The constant demands of work, relationships, and responsibilities pile up, leaving us feeling scattered, stressed, and disconnected. But what if I told you there's another way? What if there's a path to living more fully, more joyfully, and more authentically, even amidst life's challenges? That's exactly what Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness offer. Tools to help you navigate the storms of life with grace and resilience. These teachings aren't about escaping reality, they're about engaging with it more deeply. They invite us to slow down, breathe, and notice the beauty in the ordinary, to cultivate awareness so we can respond to life's ups and downs with greater wisdom and compassion. And perhaps most importantly, they remind us that true happiness comes not from external achievements but from within ourselves. This journey will take us through 10 chapters, each one building upon the last. We'll start by laying a foundation with the core principles of Buddhism, the insights that have guided seekers for thousands of years. Then we'll dive into the transformative power of meditation and mindfulness, exploring how these practices can reshape your mind, body, and spirit. Along the way, we'll touch on topics like overcoming stress, embracing impermanence, and finding joy in simplicity. By the end, my hope is that you'll leave this space feeling inspired, equipped, and empowered to bring more presence and peace into your daily life. Before we begin, take a moment to settle into wherever you are right now. If possible, find a quiet spot where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably, whether that's in a chair, on a cushion, or even lying down. Close your eyes if it feels right, and take a deep breath in and out. Let go of any tension you might be holding on to. This is your time, a sacred pause in the busyness of life. As we move forward together, remember that there's no rush. You don't need to get everything all at once. These teachings are meant to unfold gradually, layer by layer, just as petals of a flower open to reveal its center. So relax, trust the process, and allow yourself to simply be here in this moment. Now let's take our first steps along this path of discovery. Together we'll uncover how ancient wisdom meets modern living and how it can transform your life in ways both subtle and profound. Take another deep breath, and let's begin. Chapter 1. The Foundations of Buddhism. To understand the roots of Buddhism, we must travel back over 2,500 years to a prince named Siddhartha Gautama. Born into luxury in what is now modern-day Nepal, Siddhartha lived a sheltered life until one fateful day when he ventured beyond the palace walls. There he encountered 4 sights that would change his destiny forever. An old man, a sick person, a corpse, and finally, a wandering ascetic radiating calm and contentment. These encounters revealed to him the harsh truths of human existence: suffering, aging, sickness, and death. Yet they also sparked a burning question. Is there a way to transcend this cycle of pain and dissatisfaction? Determined to find answers, Siddhartha left behind his royal life and embarked on a quest for enlightenment. After years of rigorous asceticism, followed by deep introspection under the Bodhi tree, he attained awakening, or nirvana. From that point onward, he became known as the Buddha, meaning the awakened one. At the heart of the Buddha's teachings lie the 4 noble truths, which form the cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy. Let's explore them one by one. The first noble truth states that life involves suffering, or dukkha. Now, this doesn't mean life is inherently bad or meaningless. It simply acknowledges that discomfort, frustration, and loss are inevitable parts of existence. Think about it. Have you ever felt restless despite having everything you thought you wanted, or experienced sadness after something wonderful ended? That's dukkha, the gap between expectation and reality. Dukkha manifests in many forms: physical pain, emotional turmoil, unmet desires, and even the subtle unease we feel when things don't go as planned. It's not just the big obvious sufferings, but also the quieter, more pervasive sense of dissatisfaction that lingers in our lives. The second noble truth identifies the cause of suffering, craving, and aversion. Our desires for pleasure, security, recognition often lead us to cling to things that are fleeting. At the same time, our aversions push away experiences we deem unpleasant. This push and pull creates a cycle of dissatisfaction that keeps us trapped. Craving isn't limited to material possessions. It can extend to relationships, achievements, and even abstract ideas like happiness itself. Aversion, on the other hand, makes us resist change, fear loss, and avoid discomfort at all costs. Together, craving and aversion create a constant state of tension, preventing us from experiencing true peace. But here's the good news. The third noble truth tells us there's a way out. Suffering can cease when we let go of attachment and aversion. Imagine standing in a river, trying to hold on to water as it flows past. The harder you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. Similarly, when we stop grasping and resisting, we discover a state of inner freedom called nirvana. Nirvana isn't some distant paradise. It's the cessation of suffering, the end of the endless chase for fulfillment outside ourselves. It's a profound realization that peace comes not from acquiring or avoiding, but from simply being present with what is. Finally, the fourth noble truth outlines the path to liberation, the Eightfold Path. Often depicted as a wheel with 8 spokes, this path encompasses ethical conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom. It includes right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Together, these practices guide us toward a balanced and harmonious life. Let's delve deeper into each aspect of the Eightfold Path. Right view refers to seeing reality clearly, free from delusions or distortions. It's about understanding the nature of suffering and recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. Right intention involves cultivating wholesome motivations such as compassion, kindness, and renunciation of harmful actions. These first 2 steps lay the foundation for ethical living. Next, we have right speech, which encourages us to communicate truthfully, kindly, and constructively. Words have immense power. They can heal or hurt, uplift or tear down. By practicing mindful speech, we create harmony in our relationships and communities. Right action follows naturally from right speech, guiding us to act with integrity and respect for all beings. This includes refraining from harming others, stealing, or engaging in dishonest behavior. Right livelihood asks us to reflect on how we earn our living. Are we contributing positively to the world, or are we causing harm directly or indirectly? Choosing work that aligns with our values fosters a sense of purpose and alignment. Right effort involves cultivating wholesome qualities while letting go of unwholesome ones. It's about perseverance, not forcing ourselves, but gently steering our minds toward thoughts and actions that support growth. Right mindfulness brings us fully into the present moment. It's the practice of observing our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment. Mindfulness helps us break free from autopilot mode and connect deeply with our experiences. Finally, right concentration refers to developing focused attention through meditation. When the mind becomes still and clear, insight arises naturally. One of the most beautiful aspects of Buddhism is its emphasis on personal experience. Unlike dogmatic religions, Buddhism encourages questioning and exploration. The Buddha himself urged his followers not to accept his teachings blindly, but to test them in their own lives. In other words, the proof lies in the pudding, or rather, in the practice. Another key concept in Buddhism is interconnectedness. Everything in the universe is interdependent, like threads woven into a vast tapestry. Your actions ripple outward, affecting others in ways seen and unseen. This perspective fosters a sense of responsibility, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us. Compassion naturally rises from this understanding. When we see that all beings share the same wish to be happy and free from suffering, kindness becomes second nature. Compassion isn't limited to humans either. It extends to animals, plants, and the planet itself. Karma is another fundamental principle in Buddhism. Often misunderstood as a system of rewards and punishments, karma simply means action. Every thought, word, and deed has consequences, shaping our future experiences. Positive actions lead to positive outcomes, while negative actions bring about difficulties. However, karma isn't fixed, it's dynamic. Through conscious effort, we can transform our patterns and create new possibilities. Impermanence, or anicca, is another central teaching. Nothing lasts forever, not joy, sorrow, success, failure, or even life itself. While this might sound unsettling, it's actually liberating. When we embrace impermanence, we stop clinging so tightly to outcomes. We learn to cherish the present moment because it won't always be here. This awareness brings profound gratitude and peace. Non-self, or anatta, challenges the notion of a permanent, unchanging self. According to Buddhism, what we call self is merely a collection of constantly changing physical and mental phenomena. There's no fixed essence that defines who we are. This realization can be unsettling at first, but it ultimately leads to freedom. When we let go of rigid identities and labels, we open ourselves to boundless possibilities. Buddhism also teaches the importance of equanimity, the ability to remain calm and centered amidst life's ups and downs. Equanimity doesn't mean indifference. It means responding to situations with clarity and compassion rather than reacting impulsively. Developing equanimity requires patience and practice, but it's a powerful antidote to stress and anxiety. Finally, Buddhism emphasizes the cultivation of wisdom. Wisdom isn't just intellectual knowledge. It's a deep understanding born from direct experience. Through meditation and reflection, we come to see the true nature of reality, its impermanent, interconnected, and unsatisfactory nature. This insight transforms how we relate to ourselves and the world. As you absorb these teachings, consider how they apply to your own life. Do you notice patterns of craving and aversion in your daily experiences? How might embracing impermanence shift your perspective? What small steps could you take today to walk the Eightfold Path? Remember, these principles aren't abstract philosophies, they're practical tools for living with greater awareness and compassion. The beauty of Buddhism lies in its universality. Regardless of cultural or religious background, anyone can benefit from its timeless wisdom. Its teachings remind us that peace is possible, not in some distant future, but right here, right now. All it takes is willingness, curiosity, and a commitment to exploring the depths of our own minds. And so, as we conclude this chapter, carry these insights with you. Let them guide you as we continue our journey through meditation, mindfulness, and the countless ways they enrich our lives. The path ahead is rich with possibility, and every step brings us closer to the truth within. Chapter 2. What is meditation? Meditation is often misunderstood as something mystical or inaccessible, reserved for monks on mountaintops or spiritual gurus with decades of practice. But in reality, meditation is one of the most practical tools available to us. A way to train our minds, cultivate inner peace, and navigate life's challenges with greater clarity and resilience. At its core, meditation is about presence. It's about learning to be fully here, in this moment, without distraction or judgment. And while it may seem simple, its effects are profound, touching every aspect of our lives. To truly understand what meditation is, let's start by exploring its origins. Meditation has been practiced for thousands of years across cultures and traditions, but it holds a particularly central role in Buddhism. For Buddhists, meditation isn't just a relaxation technique, it's a means of awakening to the true nature of reality. Through meditation, practitioners develop mindfulness, concentration, and insight, ultimately leading to liberation from suffering. However, you don't need to adopt Buddhist beliefs to benefit from meditation. Its universal principles can enhance well-being regardless of your background or worldview. So what exactly happens when we meditate? On the surface, it might look like someone sitting quietly with their eyes closed, doing nothing. But beneath that stillness lies a dynamic process. Meditation involves directing our attention in specific ways, training the mind to become more focused, calm, and aware. Think of it like physical exercise. Just as lifting weights strengthens your muscles, meditation builds mental clarity, emotional resilience, and self-awareness. Over time, these qualities spill over into your daily life, helping you respond to stress, conflict, and uncertainty with greater ease. One of the most common forms of meditation is mindfulness meditation. This practice invites us to anchor our attention in the present moment, often using the breath as a focal point. Why the breath? Because it's always with us, readily available, and deeply connected to our state of mind. When we focus on the sensation of breathing, the rise and fall of the chest, the cool air entering the nostrils, the warmth of the exhale, we create a bridge between body and mind. This simple act helps ground us, pulling us out of worries about the future or regrets about the past. But here's the thing about meditation: it's not about stopping thoughts. Many beginners come to meditation expecting their minds to go blank, only to feel frustrated when thoughts keep arising. The truth is, thinking is what the mind does. It's natural and inevitable. The key isn't to suppress thoughts, but to observe them without getting caught up in them. Imagine your thoughts as clouds drifting across the sky. You notice them, acknowledge them, and then let them pass without clinging to them. This non-reactive awareness is at the heart of meditation. Another important aspect of meditation is posture. While there's no single right way to sit, finding a comfortable and stable position is essential. Traditionally, meditators sit cross-legged on a cushion with their spine straight, hands resting gently in their lap, and eyes either closed or slightly open. If sitting on the floor isn't comfortable, you can use a chair, lie down, or even stand. The goal is to find a posture that allows you to remain alert, yet relaxed. A straight spine supports energy flow, while a relaxed body minimizes discomfort. Experiment until you discover what works best for you. As you settle into your chosen posture, begin by taking a few deep breaths. Inhale slowly through your nose, filling your lungs completely, then exhale fully, releasing any tension. Allow your breathing to return to its natural rhythm, neither forcing it nor controlling it. Now bring your attention to the sensation of the breath wherever it feels most vivid, perhaps at the tip of your nose, in your chest, or in your abdomen. Whenever your mind wanders, and it will, gently guide your focus back to the breath. This cycle of losing focus and returning to the breath is the essence of meditation. Each time you refocus, you're strengthening your ability to concentrate and stay present. Beyond mindfulness meditation, there are many other types of meditation, each with its own unique benefits. Loving-kindness meditation, for example, cultivates compassion by encouraging us to send goodwill to ourselves and others. Visualization meditation uses imagery to inspire positive change, while mantra meditation involves repeating a word or phrase to quiet the mind. Movement-based practices like yoga, tai chi, and walking meditation blend mindfulness with gentle physical activity. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. The best type of meditation is the one that resonates with you personally. Scientific research has increasingly validated the benefits of meditation. Studies show that regular meditation reduces stress, improves focus, enhances emotional regulation, boosts immune function, and even rewires the brain for greater happiness and resilience. One fascinating area of study is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself based on experience. Meditation has been shown to increase gray matter density in regions associated with memory, empathy, and decision-making, while shrinking areas linked to fear and anxiety. These changes occur not after years of practice, but within weeks or months of consistent effort. Despite its many benefits, starting a meditation practice can feel daunting. Many people worry they're doing it wrong or struggle to carve out time in their busy schedules. The good news is that meditation doesn't require perfection or hours of dedication. Even 5 minutes a day can make a difference. Begin small, setting aside a manageable amount of time each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. Consistency matters more than length. Meditating for 5 minutes daily is far more effective than meditating for an hour once a week. Creating a supportive environment can also help. Choose a quiet space where you won't be disturbed, free from distractions like phones or loud noises. Some people enjoy lighting candles, burning incense, or playing soft music to set the mood. Others prefer complete silence. Again, there's no right or wrong. Do what feels nurturing to you. Establishing a routine can further reinforce your practice. Meditating at the same time each day, such as first thing in the morning or before bed, helps build momentum and makes it easier to stick with over time. It's also helpful to approach meditation with realistic expectations. Don't expect instant enlightenment or dramatic transformations overnight. Like any skill, meditation takes time and patience to master. There will be days when your mind feels restless, when distractions seem overwhelming, or when you question whether you're making progress. That's perfectly normal. The real growth happens not during moments of blissful stillness, but during those challenging times when you choose to keep showing up anyway. One powerful mindset shift is viewing meditation as a journey rather than a destination. Instead of striving for some idealized version of calm or clarity, embrace the process itself. Every session is an opportunity to learn, grow, and connect with yourself more deeply. Celebrate small victories along the way, moments of insight, increased patience, or simply remembering to pause and breathe during a hectic day. These incremental gains add up over time, shaping who you are and how you engage with the world. Meditation also teaches us valuable lessons about acceptance and letting go. As we sit with our thoughts and emotions, we begin to see them for what they truly are, temporary phenomena that arise and pass away. We realize we don't have to identify with every thought or react to every feeling. This detachment allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with greater equanimity. Whether facing a stressful deadline, navigating relationship conflicts, or dealing with personal setbacks, meditation gives us the tools to respond wisely rather than react impulsively. Ultimately, meditation is about coming home to yourself. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and endless demands, it offers a sanctuary, a place where you can rest, recharge, and reconnect with your true nature. It reminds us that peace isn't something we need to chase or achieve externally. It's already within us, waiting to be uncovered. As we move forward in this exploration of Buddhism, mindfulness, and meditation, take these insights with you. Consider incorporating meditation into your daily life, even if only for a few minutes at a time. Notice how it affects your mood, your relationships, and your overall sense of well-being. Remember, meditation isn't a quick fix or a magic pill. It's a lifelong practice, a journey of discovery that unfolds gradually, layer by layer. The beauty of meditation lies in its simplicity and accessibility. No special equipment, knowledge, or expertise is required. All you need is a willingness to sit, breathe, and pay attention. From this humble beginning, incredible transformations can arise, not just within you, but in the way you interact with others and the world around you. So take a deep breath and trust that every step you take on this path brings you closer to the peace and clarity you seek. Chapter 3: The Power of Mindfulness. Mindfulness is a word we hear often these days, but what does it really mean? At its essence, mindfulness is about paying full attention to the present moment, with curiosity, openness, and without judgment. It's not some esoteric concept reserved for monks or spiritual seekers. It's a practical skill that anyone can cultivate no matter their age, background, or lifestyle, and when practiced consistently, mindfulness has the power to transform how we experience life, both internally and externally. Let's break this down further. When we talk about being mindful, we're talking about bringing our awareness fully into whatever we're doing right now. Whether it's eating a meal, having a conversation, or simply breathing, mindfulness invites us to engage deeply with the activity at hand. Instead of letting our minds wander to the past or future, we anchor ourselves in the here and now. This might sound simple, but in a world filled with distractions, notifications buzzing, emails piling up, endless to-do lists, it's surprisingly difficult to stay present. Yet the rewards of doing so are immense. One of the most profound benefits of mindfulness is its ability to reduce stress. Stress arises when we ruminate about things that haven't happened yet or dwell on events that are already over. By focusing on the present, mindfulness interrupts this cycle. For example, imagine you're feeling overwhelmed by work deadlines. Instead of spiraling into anxiety about all the tasks ahead, mindfulness encourages you to pause and notice your breath. As you breathe in and out, you create space between yourself and your thoughts. You realize that in this exact moment, you're okay. The weight of tomorrow's worries lifts slightly, allowing you to approach your responsibilities with greater clarity and calm. But mindfulness isn't just a tool for managing stress, it's a way of living. It helps us reconnect with the richness of ordinary experiences that we often overlook. Take something as mundane as drinking a cup of tea. How often do we gulp it down while scrolling through our phones or rushing to start the day? Mindfulness invites us to slow down, feel the warmth of the mug in your hands, notice the aroma rising from the steam, taste the subtle flavors as they unfold on your tongue. In those moments, something as simple as tea becomes an act of nourishment, not just for the body, but for the soul. The practice of mindfulness also teaches us to observe our thoughts and emotions without getting entangled in them. Have you ever noticed how quickly your mind jumps to conclusions or reacts to situations? Perhaps someone cuts you off in traffic and before you know it, you're fuming with anger. Or maybe you receive critical feedback at work and suddenly you're flooded with self-doubt. These reactions happen automatically, driven by deeply ingrained patterns. Mindfulness gives us the ability to step back and witness these mental processes without immediately acting on them. We begin to see thoughts and emotions for what they truly are, temporary phenomena that come and go like clouds in the sky. This non-judgmental observation is key to mindfulness. Often we label our experiences as good or bad, right or wrong. While these judgments can be helpful in certain contexts, they also limit our perspective. For instance, if you label a rainy day as bad, you might miss the beauty of raindrops glistening on leaves or the soothing rhythm of rainfall against your window. Mindfulness encourages us to suspend judgment and simply notice what is happening without attaching stories to it. This openness allows us to experience life more fully and authentically. Another powerful aspect of mindfulness is its impact on relationships. When we're fully present with others, we listen more deeply, communicate more clearly, and respond with greater empathy. Think about the last time you had a meaningful conversation. Were you truly listening, or were you distracted by your own thoughts? Mindfulness trains us to give our undivided attention to the person in front of us, creating a sense of connection and understanding that enriches our interactions. This presence doesn't just benefit the other person, it also enhances our own sense of fulfillment and belonging. Mindfulness can be practiced anywhere, anytime. You don't need special equipment or hours of free time. In fact, some of the most impactful mindfulness practices occur during routine activities. Washing dishes, for example, can become a meditation. Notice the temperature of water, the texture of the soap bubbles, the sound of plates clinking together. Similarly, taking a walk can be an opportunity to tune into your surroundings, the rustling of leaves, the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the colors of the sky. These small acts of awareness accumulate over time, gradually reshaping how you relate to the world around you. While mindfulness sounds appealing in theory, putting it into practice requires intention and effort. Our minds are wired to wander, constantly flitting from one thought to the next. This tendency, known as the monkey mind, is completely normal, but it can also make mindfulness feel frustrating at first. If you find your attention drifting during meditation or daily activities, don't judge yourself. Simply acknowledge where your mind went and gently bring it back to the present moment. Each time you refocus, you're strengthening your mindfulness muscle. Over time, this process becomes easier and more natural. It's important to note that mindfulness isn't about achieving a particular state of mind. Some people mistakenly believe they need to feel peaceful or blissful every time they practice. In reality, mindfulness is about embracing whatever arises, whether it's joy, sadness, boredom, or irritation. For example, if you sit down to meditate and feel restless, instead of resisting the restlessness, explore it. Where do you feel it in your body? What sensations accompany it? By investigating these feelings with curiosity rather than judgment, you develop a deeper understanding of yourself and your inner landscape. Research continues to validate the wide-ranging benefits of mindfulness. Studies have shown that regular mindfulness practice reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression, improves sleep quality, enhances cognitive function, and even boosts immune system performance. One particularly fascinating area of study is its effect on the brain. Neuroimaging research reveals that mindfulness increases grey matter density in regions associated with memory, learning, and emotional regulation, while decreasing activity in the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for fear and stress responses. These changes occur not after years of practice, but within weeks or months of consistent effort. In addition to its psychological and physiological benefits, mindfulness fosters a greater sense of gratitude and appreciation for life. When we slow down and pay attention, we start noticing details we might otherwise overlook. The way sunlight filters through tree branches, the laughter of children playing nearby, the kindness of a stranger holding open a door. These moments may seem insignificant, but they add up, creating a tapestry of joy and meaning that enriches our existence. Mindfulness also aligns closely with Buddhist teachings, particularly the concepts of impermanence and interconnectedness. By staying present, we become more attuned to the ever-changing nature of reality. We see that nothing lasts forever, not pain, not pleasure, not even the present moment itself. This awareness helps us let go of attachment and aversion, freeing us from unnecessary suffering. At the same time, mindfulness deepens our sense of interconnectedness. When we're fully present, we recognize that we're not isolated individuals, but part of a vast web of relationships, influences, and causes. This realization inspires compassion and a desire to contribute positively to the world. Despite its many advantages, cultivating mindfulness isn't always easy. Life moves fast, and it's tempting to multitask or rush through activities. However, the more we prioritize mindfulness, the more we reap its rewards. Start small. Dedicate 5 minutes each day to sitting quietly and focusing on your breath. Use reminders throughout the day, a chime on your phone, a sticky note on your mirror, to prompt you to pause and check in with yourself. Gradually expand your practice to include mindful eating, walking, or listening. Remember, progress isn't linear. There will be days when mindfulness feels effortless and others when it feels elusive. That's perfectly okay. The journey itself is the destination. As we continue exploring the intersection of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness, keep these principles in mind. Consider how mindfulness can enhance not only your formal meditation practice, but also your everyday life. Notice how it shifts your perspective, helping you navigate challenges with greater ease and celebrate joys with deeper gratitude. Above all, remember that mindfulness is a gift you give to yourself and to the world. By choosing to be present, you create ripples of positivity that extend far beyond your immediate experience. So take a moment right now to pause, breathe deeply, tune into the sensations in your body, the sounds around you, the rhythm of your heartbeat. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, bring your full attention to this moment, because in this moment and only in this moment, life unfolds, Embrace it fully and watch as mindfulness transforms not just your days, but your entire way of being. Chapter 4: Understanding the Ego. The ego is one of the most fascinating and complex aspects of human psychology. It's the voice inside us that narrates our lives, judges our actions, and shapes how we perceive ourselves and others. But what exactly is the ego? In its simplest form, the ego is the part of our mind that constructs a sense of identity, who we think we are based on past experiences, societal conditioning, and future aspirations. While it serves as a protective mechanism, helping us navigate the world, it can also become a source of suffering if left unchecked. Understanding the ego and learning to observe it without attachment is a crucial step on the path to self-awareness and inner peace. The concept of the ego has been explored extensively in both Western psychology and Eastern philosophy. In Buddhism, the ego isn't seen as inherently bad or good. It's simply a construct, a collection of thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that create the illusion of a separate self. This illusion is so convincing that most of us spend our entire lives believing it to be real. We identify strongly with labels like successful, creative, kind, or even flawed and inadequate. These identities shape our behavior, influence our decisions, and often dictate how we relate to others. But when we dig deeper, we realize that these labels are not fixed truths. They're fluid, ever-changing narratives created by the mind. One of the primary functions of the ego is to protect us. It seeks safety, approval, and validation, often through comparison. For example, imagine you're at a social gathering and someone compliments your outfit. Your ego might puff up with pride, reinforcing the idea that you're stylish or attractive. Conversely, if someone criticizes your appearance, your ego might shrink, triggering feelings of insecurity or defensiveness. This constant push and pull between seeking affirmation and avoiding rejection keeps the ego active, but it also creates tension and dissatisfaction. The more we rely on external validation to define our worth, the less stable our sense of self becomes. Another hallmark of the ego is its tendency to cling to stories about who we are, what we deserve, and how the world should operate. These stories often stem from childhood experiences, cultural norms, or traumatic events. For instance, if you grew up being told you weren't smart enough, your ego might carry that belief into adulthood, influencing everything from career choices to personal relationships. Even positive stories can trap us. If you've always identified as the funny one among your friends, you might feel pressure to constantly entertain others, even at the expense of your own needs. These narratives aren't inherently harmful, but they limit our ability to see ourselves clearly and adapt to new circumstances. Mindfulness meditation offers a powerful tool for observing the ego without judgment. When we sit quietly and turn our attention inward, we begin to notice the incessant chatter of the mind. Thoughts arise spontaneously. I'm not good at this. Why did I say that stupid thing? What will people think of me? At first glance, these thoughts seem to define us, but with practice, we start to recognize them for what they truly are: temporary mental phenomena, not absolute truths. The key is to neither suppress nor indulge these thoughts, but to acknowledge them with curiosity and compassion. By doing so, we loosen the grip of the ego and open ourselves to a broader perspective. A common misconception about transcending the ego is that it involves eliminating it entirely. However, the goal isn't to destroy the ego, but to understand its role and reduce its dominance. Without some level of ego functioning, we wouldn't be able to navigate daily life. After all, the ego helps us set goals, make decisions, and maintain boundaries. The problem arises when the ego takes over, dictating our every move and obscuring our true nature. Through mindfulness and self-inquiry, we can cultivate a healthy relationship with the ego, one where it serves us rather than controls us. To deepen this understanding, let's explore some practical ways to work with the ego. One effective technique is labeling thoughts during meditation. As you sit quietly, notice when thoughts arise and gently categorize them. thinking, judging, planning, remembering. This simple act of naming creates distance between you and your thoughts, reminding you that you are not your mind. Over time, this practice weakens the ego's hold, allowing space for clarity and insight to emerge. Another approach is examining the motivations behind your actions. Ask yourself, am I doing this out of genuine care, or am I seeking approval? Am I motivated by love, or am I trying to avoid discomfort? These questions shine a light on the ego's subtle manipulations, helping to align your actions with your authentic values rather than external expectations. For example, if you find yourself working tirelessly to impress others, pause and reflect. What would happen if you slowed down and prioritize what truly matters to you? Would you still feel fulfilled? Such inquiries foster a deeper connection to your inner wisdom, which exists beyond the confines of the ego. The ego also thrives on resistance, resisting pain, resisting change, resisting anything that challenges its carefully constructed narrative. Paradoxically, this resistance amplifies suffering. Consider how often we fight against unpleasant emotions like sadness, anger, or fear. Instead of allowing ourselves to feel these sensations fully, the ego tries to suppress or distract us from them. But suppressed emotions don't disappear. They linger beneath the surface, manifesting as stress, anxiety, or physical ailments. Mindfulness teaches us to lean into discomfort rather than run from it. By embracing difficult feelings with kindness and curiosity, we release their grip and uncover the freedom that lies beyond resistance. It's worth noting that the ego doesn't give up easily. Its survival instinct is strong, and it will use any means necessary to maintain control. You might experience moments of clarity, followed by periods of doubt or regression. This ebb and flow is natural. Transformation isn't linear. It's a process of unraveling old patterns and integrating new insights. Patience and persistence are essential. Celebrate small victories along the way, whether it's catching yourself mid-judgment or choosing vulnerability over defensiveness in a conversation. Each step forward chips away at the ego's stronghold, paving the way for greater authenticity and presence. In addition to mindfulness, practices like journaling and self-reflection can illuminate the workings of the ego. Writing allows you to externalize your thoughts, making them easier to examine objectively. Try asking yourself probing questions. Who am I without my achievements? What fears drive my behavior? How do I want to show up in the world? Journaling provides a safe space to explore these themes without judgment, fostering self-awareness and growth. Similarly, engaging in honest conversations with trusted friends or mentors can offer valuable feedback about blind spots you might not see on your own. Ultimately, understanding the ego leads to a profound realization. We are not our thoughts, emotions, or identities. Beneath the layers of conditioning lies a boundless awareness, a pure consciousness that observes without attachment. This awareness is who we truly are. It's vast, silent, and unchanging, regardless of what happens in our external lives. Accessing this deeper truth requires courage and humility, but the rewards are immeasurable. By letting go of the false self constructed by the ego, we tap into a sense of wholeness and interconnectedness that transcends individuality. This shift in perspective has far-reaching implications. When we stop identifying with the ego, we no longer need to prove our worth or compete for attention. We become free to express ourselves authentically, pursue meaningful endeavors, and connect with others from a place of genuine compassion. Relationships improve because we're no longer projecting insecurities or clinging to unrealistic expectations. Challenges lose their sting because we know they don't define us. Life becomes lighter, more playful, and infinitely richer. As we continue our journey through Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness, keep the lessons of the ego in mind. Notice how it operates in your daily life, how it seeks validation, resists change, and clings to familiar patterns. Use mindfulness to observe it with curiosity rather than criticism. And remember, the purpose of understanding the ego isn't to reject it, but to transcend its limitations. By doing so, You unlock a reservoir of peace, creativity, and joy that was always within you, waiting to be discovered. So take a moment now to reflect. Who are you beyond the stories your mind tells? What would it feel like to live from a place of spaciousness and freedom, unburdened by the weight of the ego? These questions may not have immediate answers, but they point you toward a deeper truth, a truth that unfolds gradually, layer by layer, as you walk the path of awakening. Chapter 5: Cultivating Compassion. Compassion is often described as the heart of Buddhism, and for good reason. It's the foundation upon which all other teachings rest. At its core, compassion is the wish for others to be free from suffering and to experience happiness. But it's not just a lofty ideal, it's a practice, a skill that can be cultivated through intention and effort. When we embrace compassion, we begin to see ourselves not as isolated individuals, but as part of a vast interconnected web of life. This shift in perspective transforms how we relate to ourselves, others, and the world around us. To understand compassion, let's first distinguish it from related concepts like empathy and sympathy. Empathy involves feeling what another person feels, sharing their joy or pain. While empathy is valuable, it can sometimes become overwhelming if we absorb too much of someone else's suffering. Sympathy, on the other hand, is more distant. It's acknowledging someone's hardship without necessarily connecting emotionally. Compassion goes a step further. It combines empathy with action. It's not enough to simply feel bad for someone. True compassion motivates us to alleviate their suffering in whatever way we can. One of the most powerful tools for cultivating compassion is loving-kindness meditation, known in Pali as metta. This practice invites us to generate feelings of goodwill and warmth toward ourselves and others. To begin, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths to settle into the present moment. Then, silently repeat phrases such as, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, may I live with ease." These words aren't magical incantations, they're reminders to direct kindness inward toward yourself. Why start with yourself? Because self-compassion is the root of all compassion. Many of us are quick to extend care and understanding to others, but struggle to offer the same generosity to ourselves. We criticize our mistakes, berate ourselves for perceived shortcomings, and carry guilt for things beyond our control. But when we learn to treat ourselves with kindness, we create a reservoir of love and resilience that naturally spills over into our relationships. Self-compassion isn't selfish, it's essential. Without it, our ability to support others becomes limited. Once you've spent time generating loving kindness for yourself, gradually expand your focus outward. Picture someone you love dearly, a family member, friend, or mentor. Visualize them clearly in your mind and send them the same wishes. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you live with ease. Feel the warmth of these intentions radiating from your heart. Next, think of someone neutral, a casual acquaintance or stranger you encounter regularly, like a barista or cashier. Extend the same loving kindness to them. Notice how your perception shifts as you consciously choose to include them in your circle of care. Finally, challenge yourself by extending compassion to someone difficult, a person who has hurt you or caused you pain. This step can be uncomfortable, even painful, but it's also profoundly transformative. Instead of dwelling on resentment or anger, try to see this person as a fellow human being who, like you, desires happiness and freedom from suffering. Silently repeat the loving kindness phrases for them, knowing that you don't have to condone their actions to wish them well. Over time, this practice softens hardened hearts and dissolves barriers between us and them. Beyond formal meditation, compassion can be woven into every aspect of daily life. One simple yet impactful practice is mindful listening. When someone speaks to you, give them your full attention. Put away distractions, maintain eye contact, and resist the urge to interrupt or offer unsolicited advice. Listening deeply not only validates the speaker's experience, but also fosters connection and trust. In a world where so many people feel unseen and unheard, the gift of presence is priceless. Acts of service are another way to embody compassion. Volunteering at a shelter, donating to charity, or simply holding the door open for someone. All of these gestures contribute to a culture of care and mutual support. What makes these actions compassionate isn't their scale, but their sincerity. Even small acts, done with genuine intent, ripple outward, creating waves of positivity. Consider the story of a man who plants a single tree. Though his contribution seems modest, decades later that tree provides shade, oxygen, and nourishment for countless beings. Similarly, each act of compassion enriches the collective fabric of humanity. Compassion also extends to non-human life. Animals, plants, and ecosystems are integral parts of the interconnected web we inhabit. By adopting practices like reducing waste, supporting sustainable agriculture, and advocating for animal rights, we honor the intrinsic value of all living beings. This expanded sense of compassion reflects a profound recognition of our shared existence. Of course, cultivating compassion isn't always easy. There will be days when you feel depleted, frustrated, or indifferent. On those days, remember that compassion begins with recognizing your own humanity. You're allowed to feel tired, overwhelmed, or unsure. Acknowledge these emotions without judgment and remind yourself that imperfection is part of the journey. Just as a gardener tends to plants with patience and care, nurturing compassion requires gentleness and persistence. Another obstacle to compassion is the fear of burnout. Many people hesitate to open their hearts fully because they worry about becoming overwhelmed by the suffering of others. This concern is valid, but it highlights the importance of setting boundaries. Healthy compassion balances care for others with care for oneself. For example, if you're supporting a loved one going through a tough time, ensure you're also prioritizing your own needs, rest, nourishment, and emotional replenishment. Boundaries aren't barriers, they're acts of self-respect that enable sustainable compassion. Research shows that practicing compassion benefits both giver and receiver. Studies indicate that individuals who engage in compassionate behaviors experience lower levels of stress, increased feelings of happiness, and improved physical health. Compassion activates regions of the brain associated with reward and social bonding, reinforcing its positive effects. Moreover, communities characterized by high levels of compassion tend to thrive, fostering cooperation, resilience, and overall well-being. In addition to personal and societal benefits, compassion aligns closely with Buddhist teachings on interconnectedness. When we recognize that all beings share the same fundamental desires to be happy and free from suffering, we naturally develop a sense of responsibility for one another. This understanding transcends cultural, religious, and geographical divides, uniting us in a common purpose. Compassion becomes not just an ethical choice, but a natural expression of wisdom. Mindfulness enhances compassion by grounding us in the present moment. When we're fully present, we notice opportunities to help that might otherwise go unnoticed. Perhaps a coworker looks stressed and a kind word lifts their spirits. Or maybe a neighbor struggles with groceries and offering assistance brightens their day. These moments may seem insignificant, but they accumulate, creating a tapestry of kindness that enriches everyone involved. Mindfulness also helps us respond to challenging situations with greater equanimity, preventing reactive anger or frustration from overshadowing our capacity for compassion. As we continue exploring the intersection of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness, keep the spirit of compassion alive in your heart. Notice how it influences your thoughts, words, and actions. Reflect on ways you can deepen your commitment to kindness, not out of obligation, but out of a genuine desire to make the world a better place. Remember, compassion isn't something you run out of. The more you give, the more abundant it becomes. So take a moment now to pause and connect with this boundless quality within you. Imagine sending waves of loving kindness outward, to yourself, to those you cherish, to strangers, and even to those who challenge you. Feel the warmth of compassion spreading, dissolving barriers, and bridging divide. Know that every act of kindness, no matter how small, contributes to a brighter, more harmonious world, and trust that as you cultivate compassion, you're not only transforming your own life, but also planting seeds of hope and healing for generations to come. Chapter 6. Embracing Impermanence. Impermanence is one of the most profound yet challenging truths of existence. It's a concept woven deeply into Buddhist philosophy and mindfulness practices, yet its implications extend far beyond spiritual teachings. At its core, impermanence reminds us that everything, every thought, emotion, relationship, and material possession is transient. Nothing lasts forever. While this reality may initially seem unsettling, embracing impermanence can be liberating, offering a path to greater peace, gratitude, and freedom. To truly understand impermanence, let's begin by observing it in nature. Watch as leaves fall from trees in autumn, only to sprout anew in spring. Notice how waves crash against the shore, retreating back into the ocean moments later. Even the sun rises and sets each day, marking the passage of time. These cycles are constant reminders that change is an inherent part of life. Yet, despite witnessing impermanence all around us, we often resist it when it touches our personal lives. We cling to relationships, possessions, and identities, hoping to freeze moments in time. But trying to hold on to what inevitably slips away creates suffering. The Buddha taught that clinging to permanence is one of the root causes of dissatisfaction, or dukkha. When we expect things to remain unchanged, we set ourselves up for disappointment. For example, imagine pouring your heart into a project only to receive criticism or see it fail. If you're attached to the outcome, the experience might feel devastating. However, if you recognize that success and failure are both fleeting, you can approach the situation with equanimity. This doesn't mean dismissing emotions, rather it means holding them lightly, knowing they too will pass. Impermanence isn't limited to external events, it also applies to our inner world. Thoughts come and go like clouds drifting across the sky. Emotions rise and fall like tides. Even physical sensations shift moment by moment. Yet, we often mistake these transient experiences for who we are. For instance, when sadness arises, we might identify with it, thinking, "I am sad." But sadness is not a permanent state, it's a temporary visitor. By observing it without attachment, we realize that we are not defined by any single emotion or thought. This insight frees us from the burden of identifying with fleeting mental states. Mindfulness meditation provides a powerful tool for exploring impermanence. As you sit quietly and focus on your breath, notice how sensations in your body change continuously. One moment there's tension in your shoulders, the next, it softens. Similarly, observe how thoughts and emotions arise and dissolve. Each time you return your attention to the breath after a distraction, you're practicing letting go, a direct reflection of impermanence. Over time, this practice helps you develop a deeper acceptance of change, reducing resistance and fostering resilience. Another way to embrace impermanence is through reflection. Spend a few minutes each day recalling moments of joy, loss, growth, and transformation in your life. Perhaps you remember the excitement of starting a new job, the pain of losing a loved one, or the pride of overcoming a challenge. Reflecting on these experiences highlights the ever-changing nature of existence. It reminds you that difficult times don't last forever, just as moments of happiness won't endure indefinitely. This awareness encourages patience during hardships and humility during successes. Impermanence also invites us to cherish the present moment more fully. Because everything is fleeting, every experience carries unique value. Consider something as ordinary as drinking a cup of coffee, the aroma, the warmth of the mug, the taste of the first sip. All of these details are ephemeral. Once the moment passes, it cannot be reclaimed. By paying close attention to such experiences, we cultivate gratitude for the richness of life. Mindfulness amplifies this appreciation, helping us slow down and savor what's right in front of us. However, embracing impermanence doesn't mean becoming indifferent or detached. On the contrary, it deepens our connection to life. When we accept that nothing is guaranteed, we prioritize what truly matters. We invest time and energy in nurturing relationships, pursuing passions, and contributing to the well-being of others. Knowing that life is fragile inspires us to live with great purpose and presence. One common fear associated with impermanence is the inevitability of death. Death is perhaps the ultimate reminder of impermanence, yet it's often avoided or feared in modern society. Buddhism approaches death not as an ending, but as a natural phase of existence. Contemplating mortality can actually enhance our appreciation for life. For example, reflecting on the fact that today could be your last day encourages you to make meaningful choices, to express love, forgive grievances, and pursue dreams without delay. Instead of fearing death, we can view it as a teacher, urging us to live authentically and wholeheartedly. Practicing impermanence also transforms how we handle loss. Whether it's the end of a relationship, the loss of a job, or the death of a loved one, change brings grief. While it's natural to mourn, resisting impermanence prolongs suffering. By acknowledging that endings are an integral part of life, we create space to heal. We honor what has passed while remaining open to new beginnings. This balance between honoring the past and embracing the future is a hallmark of wisdom. In addition to personal growth, embracing impermanence fosters compassion for others. Recognizing that everyone experiences change and often struggles with it helps us respond with empathy. For example, when someone lashes out in anger instead of reacting defensively, we might understand that their behavior stems from fear or insecurity. Knowing that challenges are temporary allows us to offer support without taking things personally. Impermanence also aligns closely with the Buddhist teaching of non-attachment. Non-attachment doesn't mean indifference or withdrawal from life. It means engaging fully without clinging to outcomes. For instance, you can pour your heart into a creative project while accepting that its reception is beyond your control. This mindset reduces anxiety and increases enjoyment because you're focused on the process rather than the result. While impermanence can bring comfort, it's important to acknowledge its bittersweet nature. There's beauty in knowing that life is constantly evolving, but there's also poignancy in realizing that nothing stays the same. This duality reflects the complexity of human existence. By holding both aspects simultaneously with openness and grace, we navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease. Finally, embracing impermanence connects us to something larger than ourselves. When we let go of the illusion of permanence, we tap into the flow of life itself. We see that we're part of an intricate web of causes and conditions where every action ripples outward, influencing countless beings. This perspective fosters humility and wonder, reminding us that our individual stories are threads in a vast tapestry. As we continue our exploration of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness, carry the lesson of impermanence with you. Let it guide you in moments of uncertainty, grounding you in the truth that change is the only constant. Use mindfulness to stay present with whatever arises, trusting that each experience, whether joyful or painful, is temporary. And above all, remember that impermanence isn't something to fear, it's a source of liberation. By embracing it, you step into a deeper, more authentic way of being, one that honors the fleeting beauty of life while remaining rooted in the eternal now. Chapter 7. Overcoming Stress Through Awareness. Stress is an unavoidable part of modern life, but it doesn't have to control us. In fact, stress itself isn't inherently harmful. It's our response to it that determines whether it becomes a source of suffering or an opportunity for growth. By cultivating awareness through mindfulness and meditation, we can transform our relationship with stress, learning to navigate its challenges with greater ease and resilience. This chapter explores how stress arises, why it affects us so deeply, and practical tools to overcome it, not by avoiding it, but by meeting it with presence and compassion. To understand stress, let's first examine its roots. Stress occurs when we perceive a threat, real or imagined, and our bodies respond with the fight or flight mechanism. This evolutionary adaptation was designed to protect us from immediate danger, like encountering a predator in the wild. However, in today's world, the threats we face are often psychological rather than physical: looming deadlines, financial pressures, relationship conflicts, or societal expectations. While these stressors aren't life-threatening, they trigger the same physiological responses: increased heart rate, shallow breathing, muscle tension, and elevated cortisol levels. Over time, chronic stress takes a toll on both body and mind, contributing to anxiety, burnout, insomnia, and even physical illnesses. The key to managing stress lies not in eliminating external triggers, which is often impossible, but in changing how we relate to them internally. Mindfulness offers a powerful framework for doing just that. When we bring awareness to moments of stress, we create space between stimulus and response. Instead of reacting automatically, we pause, observe, and choose how to proceed. This simple act of pausing can dramatically alter our experience, transforming overwhelming situations into manageable ones. One effective technique for working with stress is the STOP method, an acronym that stands for Stop, Take a Breath, Observe, and Proceed. Here's how it works. When you notice signs of stress, perhaps your chest feels tight, your thoughts race, or irritation flares, pause whatever you're doing. Literally, stop moving, talking, or engaging with the situation for a moment. Then take a slow, deep breath. Feel the air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and then leaving your body. This single breath interrupts the cascade of stress, hormones flooding your system, signaling to your brain that you're safe. Next, observe what's happening within you and around you. Notice any physical sensations, emotions, or thoughts without judgment. Are you feeling anger, fear, frustration? Where do these feelings reside in your body? Finally, proceed with intention. Ask yourself, what's the most skillful way to respond right now? Do I need to address this issue immediately, or can it wait? Would taking a short walk help clear my head? By following these steps, you regain agency over your reactions, reducing the grip of stress. Another cornerstone of overcoming stress is understanding the role of thoughts. Often what stresses us isn't the situation itself, but the stories we tell ourselves about it. For example, imagine receiving critical feedback at work. If you interpret it as evidence of failure, your stress levels will skyrocket. But if you reframe it as an opportunity for growth, the same event might feel less daunting. Mindfulness teaches us to question the narratives our minds generate, recognizing them as interpretations rather than facts. Thoughts are like clouds passing through the sky. They arise, linger for a while, and then dissolve. By observing them without attachment, we loosen their hold on us. Breath awareness is another invaluable tool for managing stress. The breath serves as a bridge between body and mind, offering a direct route to calmness. Whenever you feel stressed, focus on your breathing. Notice its rhythm, depth, and texture. Is it fast and shallow, or slow and steady? Without trying to change it, simply bring your attention to the sensation of inhaling and exhaling. As you do, your nervous system begins to settle, activating the parasympathetic response, the body's natural relaxation mode. You can amplify this effect by practicing techniques like diaphragmatic breathing, also known as belly breathing, or alternate nostril breathing, which balance energy and promote tranquility. Mindfulness also helps us identify early warning signs of stress before they escalate. These signs vary from person to person, but often include physical symptoms like headaches, fatigue, or digestive issues, emotional cues such as irritability or sadness, and behavioral changes like procrastination or overeating. By tuning into these signals, we can intervene sooner, preventing minor stresses from snowballing into major crises. Journaling can be particularly helpful here. Writing down your thoughts and feelings allows you to process them objectively, gaining clarity about underlying patterns or triggers. In addition to individual practices, social connection plays a vital role in mitigating stress. Humans are inherently relational beings, wired to seek support during difficult times. Sharing your struggles with trusted friends, family members, or therapists provides emotional relief and fosters a sense of belonging. Even small gestures, like exchanging smiles with a stranger or expressing gratitude to a colleague, release oxytocin, a hormone associated with bonding and stress reduction. Cultivating meaningful relationships creates a buffer against adversity, reminding us that we're never truly alone. Physical movement is another powerful antidote to stress. Exercise boosts endorphins, improves sleep quality, and enhances overall well-being. Activities like yoga, tai chi, or mindful walking combine movement with awareness, doubling their benefits. During these practices, pay attention to the sensations in your body, the stretch of muscles, the rhythm of your steps, the flow of energy. This embodied awareness anchors you in the present moment, counteracting the scattered mental state induced by stress. It's worth noting that stress isn't always negative. In moderation, it can motivate us to achieve goals, adapt to new circumstances, or rise to challenges. This type of stress, often called eustress, differs from distress in its intensity and duration. Eustress energizes us, propelling us forward, whereas distress depletes us, leaving us drained and overwhelmed. By developing discernment through mindfulness, we learn to distinguish between the two and respond accordingly. Compassion for ourselves and others is equally essential in overcoming stress. Many people compound their difficulties by judging themselves harshly for feeling stressed in the first place. They might think, "I should be able to handle this," or "Why am I so weak?" Such self-criticism only amplifies suffering. Instead, approach yourself with kindness. Acknowledge that stress is a universal human experience, not a personal failing. Treat yourself as you would a dear friend, offering comfort, encouragement, and understanding. Similarly, extend compassion to those around you who may be struggling. A kind word or gesture can make all the difference, easing tension and fostering mutual support. Finally, embracing impermanence, a theme we explored earlier, offers profound solace in times of stress. Remember that no matter how dire a situation seems, it won't last forever. Challenges come and go, as do feelings of overwhelm or despair. By holding this truth gently in your heart, you cultivate patience and perspective. Even amidst chaos, there's always the possibility of renewal, a chance to begin again, one breath at a time. As we move forward in this journey through Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness, integrate these tools into your daily life. Practice the stop method when stress arises. Use your breath as a lifeline to the present moment. Reflect on the stories you tell yourself, challenging unhelpful narratives with curiosity and care. Build supportive relationships and prioritize physical activity. Above all, remember that stress is not your enemy, it's a teacher, guiding you toward deeper self-awareness and resilience. So, take a moment now to ground yourself. Close your eyes if it feels comfortable, and tune into your breath. Feel the steadiness beneath the turbulence, the stillness within the storm. Trust that you possess everything you need to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and courage. And know that each step you take toward overcoming stress brings you closer to a life of peace, purpose, and presence. Chapter 8. Finding Joy in Simplicity. Simplicity is a profound yet often overlooked path to joy and fulfillment. In a world that constantly bombards us with messages to acquire more, achieve more, and be more, simplicity offers a refreshing counterpoint, a way to strip away the unnecessary and focus on what truly matters. It's not about deprivation or living an austere life, it's about creating space. Space for clarity, connection, and contentment. By embracing simplicity, we align ourselves with the natural rhythms of life, discovering that true happiness comes not from external accumulation, but from inner richness. To understand why simplicity is so powerful, let's first examine the opposite, complexity. Modern life thrives on complexity. We juggle multiple responsibilities, scroll endlessly through social media feeds, and fill our schedules with activities designed to make us feel productive or entertained. Yet, despite all this busyness, many of us feel unfulfilled, restless, or overwhelmed. Why? Because complexity fragments our attention, scattering it across countless distractions. When we're pulled in too many directions, we lose touch with the present moment and with ourselves. Simplicity reverses this trend, helping us reclaim our focus and restore balance. One of the most tangible ways to embrace simplicity is by decluttering our physical environment. Our homes are reflections of our inner state. When they're cluttered, chaotic, or disorganized, it affects how we think and feel. Studies show that messy spaces increase stress levels and reduce cognitive function, while tidy environments promote calmness and creativity. Decluttering doesn't mean throwing everything away, it means keeping only what serves a purpose or brings genuine joy. Ask yourself, does this item add value to my life? If the answer is no, consider letting it go. Donating unused items or organizing your belongings can feel liberating, like shedding layers of unnecessary weight. Beyond physical clutter, simplicity extends to how we structure our time and energy. Many of us overcommit, saying yes to obligations out of habit, guilt, or fear of missing out. But spreading ourselves thin leaves little room for rest, reflection, or meaningful engagement. Practicing simplicity involves setting boundaries and prioritizing what truly matters. Start by identifying your core values, what makes you feel alive, connected, and fulfilled. Then, design your days around those priorities. For example, if spending quality time with loved ones is important to you, carve out dedicated blocks of time for family or friends, even if it means declining other invitations. Saying no to less essential activities creates space for deeper experiences. Simplicity also invites us to slow down and savor the ordinary moments that often go unnoticed. Consider something as routine as brushing your teeth. Instead of rushing through it while thinking about the day ahead, bring your full attention to the task. Feel the bristles against your gums, taste the minty freshness of the toothpaste, hear the sound of water running. These small acts of mindfulness transform mundane tasks into opportunities for presence and gratitude. Similarly, take time to notice beauty in everyday life, the play of sunlight on walls, the texture of bark on a tree, the laughter of children playing nearby. Simplicity teaches us to find wonder in the seemingly insignificant details. Minimalism, both as a lifestyle and a mindset, embodies the principles of simplicity. At its heart, minimalism isn't about owning fewer possessions, though that's often part of it. It's about eliminating excess so you can focus on what enriches your life. This could mean simplifying your wardrobe, reducing screen time, or streamlining your daily routines. The goal is to free up mental and emotional bandwidth, allowing you to invest more fully in pursuits that resonate with your authentic self. For instance, instead of scrolling aimlessly through social media, use that time to read a book, write in a journal, or take a mindful walk. Each choice you make either adds to or detracts from your sense of peace and purpose. Nature provides endless inspiration for living simply. Observe how plants grow. They don't strive to become something else. They unfold naturally, trusting the process. Animals live instinctively, seeking shelter, food, and companionship without excessive complication. Humans too are part of this web of life, and reconnecting with nature reminds us of our innate capacity for simplicity. Spending time outdoors, whether hiking in the woods, gardening, or sitting under a tree, grounds us in the present moment and awakens a sense of awe. Nature's cycles of growth, decay, and renewal mirror our own impermanence, reinforcing the importance of cherishing each moment. Another aspect of simplicity is cultivating gratitude. Gratitude shifts our perspective from scarcity to abundance, reminding us that we already have enough. When we practice gratitude regularly, we begin to see the richness in our lives, not just in grand achievements or material possessions, but in the small, everyday blessings. Keep a gratitude journal where you jot down 3 things you're thankful for each day. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to notice positivity more readily, fostering a sense of contentment. Gratitude also deepens relationships, as expressing appreciation strengthens bonds and fosters mutual support. Mindfulness meditation complements simplicity beautifully. Through meditation, we train our minds to stay focused and calm, resisting the pull of distractions. As we sit quietly and observe our thoughts, we become aware of how much mental clutter occupies our minds. Worries about the future, regrets about the past, judgments about ourselves and others. By acknowledging these thoughts without attachment, we create mental space, just as decluttering creates physical space. This spaciousness allows us to approach life with greater ease and openness. Living simply also challenges societal norms that equate success with wealth, status, or productivity. These external markers of achievement often lead to comparison and dissatisfaction. Instead, simplicity encourages us to define success on our own terms. What does a fulfilling life look like to you? Does it involve financial stability, creative expression, spiritual growth, or service to others? By clarifying your vision, you gain freedom from the pressure to conform and permission to live authentically. Technology, while incredibly useful, can sometimes complicate our lives unnecessarily. Notifications, emails, and endless streams of information fragment our attention and erode our ability to focus. To simplify your relationship with technology, establish clear boundaries. Set specific times for checking messages or browsing the internet, and stick to them. Turn off non-essential notifications and designate tech-free zones or periods, such as during meals or before bed. Use technology mindfully, ensuring it enhances rather than detracts from your well-being. Creativity flourishes in simplicity. When we remove distractions and reduce noise, we tap into our innate capacity for innovation and self-expression. Whether it's painting, writing, cooking, or playing music, engaging in creative activities connects us to a state of flow, a timeless experience where action and awareness merge. Flow states are deeply satisfying because they allow us to lose ourselves in the process, forgetting worries and judgments. Simplicity clears the path to flow, enabling us to access our full potential. Simplicity also nurtures sustainability, aligning personal well-being with planetary health. By consuming less, reusing resources, and supporting ethical businesses, we contribute to a healthier planet. Simple choices like carrying a reusable water bottle, composting food scraps, or biking instead of driving reduce waste and conserve energy. Living sustainably reflects a broader commitment to interconnectedness, recognizing that our actions ripple outward, affecting ecosystems and future generations. Finally, simplicity fosters resilience. When we detach from the need for constant stimulation or validation, we develop inner strength. Life inevitably brings challenges, but simplicity equips us to face them with grace. Without the burden of excessive possessions, commitments, or expectations, we move through difficulties with greater agility and adaptability. Simplicity reminds us that we are capable of thriving with less, drawing upon our inherent resourcefulness and creativity. As we continue exploring Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness, carry the spirit of simplicity with you. Notice areas of your life where complexity weighs you down and experiment with letting go. Create rituals that honor simplicity, whether it's preparing a meal with care, practicing gratitude, or spending quiet time alone. Trust that simplicity isn't about sacrificing joy, it's about amplifying it, revealing the extraordinary within the ordinary. So take a moment now to reflect. What would it feel like to live with less clutter, less distraction, and less striving? How might simplicity transform your days, your relationships, and your sense of purpose? Embrace the invitation to simplify, not as a chore, but as a gift. In doing so, you open yourself to a life of depth, meaning, and enduring happiness. Chapter 9: Building a Daily Practice. Building a daily practice is one of the most transformative yet challenging commitments you can make for yourself. It's not just about setting aside time each day to meditate or engage in mindfulness, it's about creating a rhythm, a structure that supports your growth and well-being over the long term. A daily practice isn't a rigid routine imposed from the outside, it's a personal ritual designed to nurture your mind, body, and spirit. When cultivated with intention and consistency, it becomes a cornerstone of resilience, clarity, and joy. To begin building a daily practice, Let's first acknowledge why consistency matters. Think of any skill you've ever learned, playing an instrument, mastering a sport, or even developing a new habit like brushing your teeth. Progress comes not from sporadic effort, but from regular, sustained engagement. The same principle applies to meditation, mindfulness, and other practices rooted in self-awareness. Each session compounds upon the last, gradually rewiring your brain and reshaping your perspective. Even 5 minutes a day done consistently yields profound results over weeks, months, and years. The foundation of a strong daily practice lies in intention. Before diving into specific activities, take time to reflect on why you want to establish this routine. What do you hope to gain? Is it greater peace of mind, improved focus, deeper connection with yourself or others? Clarifying your purpose gives your practice meaning and motivates you to stick with it, especially on days when motivation wanes. Write down your intentions in a journal or somewhere visible, so they serve as reminders of your commitment. Once you've identified your why, the next step is choosing practices that resonate with you personally. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. What works for someone else might not work for you. Experiment with different techniques until you find what feels nourishing and sustainable. For example, some people thrive on seated meditation, focusing on their breath or a mantra. Others prefer movement-based practices like yoga, tai chi, or mindful walking. Still, others enjoy creative outlets such as drawing, writing, or playing music. The key is to select activities that align with your personality, preferences, and lifestyle. Morning routines are particularly powerful because they set the tone for the rest of the day. Starting your day with mindfulness creates a sense of calm and centeredness that carries forward into everything you do. Consider incorporating simple practices into your morning ritual. Begin by waking up at the same time each day, ideally before the rush of obligations begins. Take a few moments to stretch your body, releasing tension accumulated overnight. Then, sit quietly for a few minutes, focusing on your breath or silently repeating affirmations. If journaling appeals to you, spend a few minutes writing down your thoughts, intentions, or things you're grateful for. These small acts create momentum, helping you approach the day with presence and purpose. Evenings offer another opportunity to deepen your practice. Just as mornings prepare you for the day ahead, evenings provide a chance to wind down and reflect. End your day with rituals that promote relaxation and introspection. For instance, dim the lights, light a candle, or play soothing music to signal the transition from activity to stillness. Spend a few minutes reviewing your day, not to judge or criticize, but to notice patterns, celebrate successes, and identify areas for growth. Ask yourself, what went well today? What challenges did I face and how did I respond? What am I looking forward to tomorrow? This reflective process fosters self-awareness and gratitude, ensuring you end each day on a positive note. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. Life is unpredictable, and there will be days when sticking to your practice feels impossible. Perhaps you oversleep and get caught up in work emergencies or simply lack energy. On those days, remember that progress isn't linear. Missing a session doesn't erase the benefits of previous efforts. Instead of berating yourself, adapt. Shorten your practice if necessary. A single minute of mindful breathing is better than nothing. Or integrate mindfulness into everyday activities. Washing dishes, commuting, or folding laundry can all become opportunities to stay present. Flexibility ensures your practice remains accessible and sustainable even during challenging times. Accountability also plays a crucial role in maintaining consistency. While personal discipline is important, having external support can strengthen your resolve. Share your goals with a trusted friend, family member, or mentor who can encourage you along the way. Joining a community, whether online or in person, provides additional motivation and inspiration. Group settings foster connection and accountability, reminding you that you're not alone on this journey. Retreats, workshops, or guided meditation apps can further enhance your practice, offering fresh insights and structured guidance. Mindfulness extends beyond formal meditation sessions. It permeates every aspect of life. Infuse your daily tasks with awareness. transforming routine activities into moments of presence. For example, instead of rushing through meals while scrolling through your phone, eat slowly and savor each bite. Pay attention to the flavors, textures, and aromas. Similarly, when engaging in conversations, listen deeply without planning your response or interrupting. Mindful communication strengthens relationships and fosters mutual understanding. By weaving mindfulness into ordinary moments, you cultivate a seamless integration of practice and life. Another essential element of a daily practice is self-compassion. Many people abandon their routines because they expect immediate results or feel discouraged by perceived failures. Remember, the goal isn't mastery, but exploration. Treat yourself with kindness and patience, recognizing that growth happens incrementally. Celebrate small victories along the way, whether it's noticing a shift in your mindset, feeling calmer under pressure, or simply remembering to pause and breathe during a hectic moment. Self-compassion fuels perseverance, keeping you engaged even when progress seems slow. Physical movement complements mindfulness beautifully, enhancing both mental and emotional well-being. Incorporating gentle exercise into your daily practice boosts circulation, reduces stress, and increases vitality. Yoga, in particular, combines movement with breath awareness, promoting harmony between body and mind. If yoga isn't your style, try stretching, dancing, or taking a brisk walk outdoors. Movement doesn't have to be intense or prolonged. Even 10 minutes of intentional activity can invigorate your spirit and clear your mind. Gratitude and reflection are integral parts of a holistic daily practice. At the start or end of each day, take a few moments to acknowledge what you're thankful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, fostering a sense of contentment. Reflective practices, such as journaling or contemplation, deepen self-awareness and reinforce learning. They help you track your progress, recognize recurring themes, and adjust your approach as needed. Over time, these habits build a reservoir of wisdom, equipping you to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease. Technology can either hinder or enhance your daily practice, depending on how you use it. While excessive screen time disrupts mindfulness, digital tools can support your journey when used intentionally. Meditation apps, guided recordings, and online courses provide convenient access to resources and teachings. Timers and reminders ensure you stay consistent, even on busy days. However, balance is key. Avoid letting technology dominate your practice. Prioritize analog experiences whenever possible. Reading physical books, writing by hand, or practicing unplugged fosters a deeper connection to the present moment. Nature offers endless inspiration and grounding for your daily practice. Spending time outdoors, even briefly, reconnects you with the rhythms of life. Whether it's tending to plants, watching birds, or gazing at the stars, nature reminds us of our place within the larger web of existence. Incorporate outdoor activities into your routine, allowing fresh air and natural light to energize your spirit. Nature-based mindfulness exercises, such as observing the details of a leaf or listening to the sounds of wind, deepen your sensory awareness and cultivate awe. Finally, embrace the cyclical nature of practice. Just as seasons change, so too does your relationship with mindfulness evolve. There may be periods of intense dedication followed by phases of rest or recalibration. Trust that these fluctuations are normal and part of the process. Stay open to experimentation, adjusting your practice as your needs and circumstances shift. What works for you now might look different a year from now, and that's okay. The beauty of a daily practice lies in its adaptability, its ability to grow alongside you. As we continue exploring Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness, carry these principles into your daily life. Build a practice that feels authentic and sustainable, honoring your unique journey. Remember, the goal isn't to achieve some idealized version of enlightenment. It's to show up fully, moment by moment, for yourself and the world around you. Every breath, every step, every act of presence contributes to a richer, more meaningful existence. So, Take a deep breath now and commit to starting or refining your daily practice. Begin small, with manageable steps that fit your schedule and temperament. Be patient with yourself, trusting that consistency builds strength over time, and above all, trust the process. Through dedication and care, your daily practice will become a sanctuary, a sacred space where you reconnect with your truest self and rediscover the boundless potential within you. Chapter 10. Living Mindfully Beyond Yourself. Living mindfully extends far beyond personal growth. It ripples outward, touching every corner of our lives and the world around us. When we embrace mindfulness, meditation, and compassion, not just for ourselves, but as a way of being in relationship with others, we unlock a profound truth. True fulfillment arises when we expand beyond the confines of me and step into the realm of we. This chapter explores how living mindfully connects us to something greater than ourselves, fostering kindness, service, and interconnectedness. It invites us to consider how our actions, no matter how small, contribute to a kinder, more compassionate world. At its heart, mindful living is about recognizing that we are not isolated individuals navigating life alone. We exist within an intricate web of relationships, influences, and shared experiences. Every word we speak, every decision we make, and every act of kindness or harm sends ripples through this web, affecting people, animals, ecosystems, and future generations. Understanding this interconnectedness shifts our perspective from self-centeredness to collective well-being. It challenges us to ask, how can I use my time, energy, and resources to uplift others? What legacy do I want to leave behind? One of the most impactful ways to live mindfully beyond yourself is through acts of service. Serving others doesn't require grand gestures or heroic sacrifices. It's often the smallest, simplest actions that have the deepest impact. Volunteering at a local shelter, mentoring someone in need, or simply listening attentively to a friend going through a tough time. All of these acts embody mindfulness in action. They remind us that we're part of a community bound together by mutual care and responsibility. Service also teaches humility, reminding us that everyone has struggles, gifts, and wisdom to share. By giving freely, we receive immeasurably in return a sense of purpose, connection, and gratitude. Mindfulness amplifies the quality of our service by grounding us in presence and empathy. When we approach acts of kindness with full attention, they become more meaningful, not just for the recipient, but for us as well. For example, imagine helping prepare meals at a soup kitchen. If you rush through the task distractedly, thinking about your next appointment or scrolling through your phone, the experience might feel transactional. But if you immerse yourself fully, feeling the texture of dough under your hands, noticing the smiles of those you're serving, exchanging warm greetings, you transform the act into a moment of genuine human connection. Presence elevates service from duty to joy. Beyond direct service, mindfulness encourages us to examine the broader impact of our choices. Every purchase we make, every vote we cast, and every lifestyle decision we adopt shapes the world in subtle yet significant ways. Consider the environmental implications of your daily habits. Do you recycle, reduce waste, support sustainable brands? These seemingly minor decisions collectively influence the health of our planet. Similarly, reflect on how your words and behaviors affect those around you. Are you spreading positivity and encouragement, or perpetuating negativity and division? Mindful living invites us to align our actions with values like compassion, equity, and stewardship. Compassion lies at the core of living mindfully beyond yourself. While self-compassion is essential, extending compassion outward transforms it into a force for good. Compassionate action begins with seeing others not as separate entities, but as extensions of ourselves. When we witness suffering, whether it's a neighbor struggling financially, an animal mistreated, or a stranger enduring hardship, we recognize that their pain is in some way our pain too. This understanding motivates us to respond with empathy rather than indifference. Even in moments when we can't directly alleviate someone's difficulties, Offering a kind word, a smile, or a prayer creates a ripple effect of warmth and solidarity. Mindful communication plays a vital role in fostering connection and reducing conflict. So much of our daily interactions are shaped by automatic reactions, defensiveness, criticism, assumptions that escalate tension and divide us. Mindfulness teaches us to pause before speaking, considering whether our words will heal or harm. Listening deeply is equally important. Instead of waiting for our turn to talk or planning our response while someone else is speaking, we give them our undivided attention. The simple act validates their experience, creating trust and mutual respect. In a world where divisiveness often dominates headlines, mindful communication becomes a radical act of love and reconciliation. Another powerful aspect of living mindfully beyond yourself is cultivating gratitude for the unseen hands that sustain our lives. Pause for a moment and think about everything that had to happen for you to enjoy your morning coffee: the farmers who grew the beans, the workers who roasted and packaged them, the drivers who transported them, the barista who brewed your drink. Each person played a role, contributing to your enjoyment without expecting recognition. Gratitude for these invisible contributions inspires reciprocity. How can you pay it forward? Perhaps by tipping generously, supporting fair trade products, or expressing appreciation to those whose labor often goes unnoticed. Gratitude turns awareness into action, strengthening the bonds of community. Mindfulness also calls us to confront systemic injustices with courage and clarity. While individual acts of kindness are invaluable, they must be paired with efforts to address root causes of suffering: racism, poverty, inequality, climate change. These issues demand collective action rooted in mindfulness and compassion. Educate yourself about the challenges facing marginalized communities. Advocate for policies that promote justice and sustainability. Use your voice and platform to amplify underrepresented perspectives. Living mindfully beyond yourself means acknowledging privilege and using it responsibly to create opportunities for others. Nature serves as both a teacher and beneficiary of mindful living. Spending time outdoors reconnects us with the rhythms of life, reminding us that we are part of a vast, interdependent ecosystem. Protecting the environment isn't just an ethical obligation, it's an expression of gratitude for the beauty and abundance nature provides. Simple practices like planting trees, conserving water, or advocating for green initiatives honor this reciprocal relationship. Nature thrives when we treat it with reverence, and so do we. Family and intimate relationships offer another arena for mindful living. The people closest to us often bear the brunt of our stress, impatience, and unmet expectations. Yet, they also provide unparalleled opportunities for growth and healing. Practicing mindfulness within relationships means showing up fully, with patience, forgiveness, and unconditional support. It means celebrating milestones together, weathering storms side by side, and cherishing the fleeting moments that make life sweet. Whether it's playing with children, caring for aging parents, or nurturing romantic partnerships, mindful presence enriches these connections profoundly. Finally, living mindfully beyond yourself culminates in a sense of purpose, a deep knowing that your life contributes to something larger than yourself. Purpose isn't limited to grand achievements or titles, it's found in the quiet, consistent acts of love and care that define our days. Maybe your purpose is raising kind-hearted children, mentoring young professionals, or creating art that inspires hope. Whatever form it takes, purpose gives direction and meaning to your journey. It anchors you during turbulent times and fuels your resilience. As we conclude this exploration of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness, let the lessons of mindful living guide your path forward. Reflect on how you can extend compassion, practice gratitude, and serve others in ways both big and small. Remember, mindfulness isn't a solitary pursuit. It's a bridge that connects us to one another and to the world. Each breath, each thought, each action holds the potential to heal, inspire, and uplift. Take a moment now to envision the kind of legacy you wish to leave behind. How do you want to be remembered, not just by those who know you personally, but by the wider community and the planet itself? Trust that every mindful choice you make contributes to a brighter, more harmonious world. And know that by living mindfully beyond yourself, you embody the highest teachings of Buddhism, wisdom, compassion, and interconnectedness. So go forth with courage and compassion. Let your life be a testament to the power of mindfulness to transform not only your own existence, but the lives of countless others. Together we can co-create a world where peace, kindness, and understanding prevail, one mindful moment at a time. And so we arrive at the end of this journey, a journey that has taken us deep into the heart of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness. Together we've explored timeless wisdom, practical tools, and transformative practices designed to help you navigate life with greater clarity, compassion, and presence. As we bring this chapter to a close, I want to take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered and to invite you to carry these teachings forward into your daily life. Throughout this video, we've seen how Buddhism offers profound insights into the nature of suffering, impermanence, and interconnectedness. We've learned that meditation isn't about escaping reality, but embracing it fully, training our minds to become calm, focused, and aware. And we've discovered that mindfulness is more than a practice. It's a way of being, a lens through which we can view the world with openness and curiosity. These teachings aren't abstract philosophies. They're living principles meant to be applied, tested, and experienced directly. But perhaps the most important lesson is this: transformation begins with small, consistent steps. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Instead, focus on planting seeds, tiny acts of awareness, kindness, and intention that will grow over time. Whether it's taking 5 minutes each morning to sit quietly, pausing to breathe during stressful moments, or simply paying closer attention to the people and experiences around you, every effort counts. Remember, progress isn't measured by perfection, but by persistence. As you move forward, trust yourself. Trust that you already possess everything you need to live mindfully and authentically. The answers aren't outside of you, they're within, waiting to be uncovered through patience and practice. When challenges arise, and they will, lean into them as opportunities for growth. Use the tools we've discussed: mindfulness, compassion, gratitude, and self-awareness. Let them guide you back to center again and again. It's also worth acknowledging that this path isn't always easy. There will be days when distractions pull you away, when doubt creeps in, or when life feels overwhelming. On those days, remember why you started, revisit your intentions, recall the moments of peace, joy, or connection that inspired you to embark on this journey in the first place. And know that you're not alone. Countless others, past, present, and future, are walking alongside you, united by a shared desire for understanding and healing. Living mindfully isn't just about personal well-being, it's about contributing to a kinder, more compassionate world. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, creates ripples that extend far beyond what we can see. By choosing to live with awareness and care, you inspire others to do the same. Your presence matters, your actions matter, and the collective impact of mindful living has the power to transform communities, societies, and even the planet itself. Before we part ways, I'd like to express my deepest gratitude for showing up today, for investing in your growth, and for committing to a life of presence and purpose. It takes courage to pause amidst the busyness of modern life and ask, who am I? What truly matters? How can I live more fully? These questions are the foundation of mindfulness, and they hold the potential to reshape not only your own life, but the lives of those around you. If this exploration has resonated with you, I encourage you to keep going. Dive deeper into books, courses, retreats, or communities that align with these teachings. Experiment with different practices until you find what feels nourishing and sustainable. Share what you've learned with others, not as an expert, but as a fellow traveler on the path. And above all, remain curious. Life itself is the greatest teacher, and each moment offers an opportunity to learn, grow, and awaken. As we conclude, take a final breath together. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Feel the stillness within you, the quiet, unshakable essence that remains constant. No matter what changes outside, carry this stillness with you as you step back into the flow of life. Let it remind you that peace isn't something you need to chase, it's already here, resting gently beneath the surface of every experience. Thank you for joining me on this journey. May your days be filled with light, love, and presence. Until next time, may you walk softly upon the earth, leaving traces of kindness wherever you go. This is the Mindful Zone, signing off, but the journey continues within you.